wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
And she look rich. Like filthy
I
rich.
see sequins on the boots. You already know. You was that a Shirling?
Listen, I'm out here doing some things.
Chinchilla?
5 seasons of HBO checks. It's not a bad look.
Hey.
All right.
Yvonne Orji, welcome back.
I appreciate y'all. I was looking around for my balloons and Ace of Spades.
Oh.
I don't see, because y'all did that for somebody else that came on here from the show. But it's cool.
Damn.
It's cool. No, it's cool. I love y'all too.
Now listen, when you get the spin off.
Yo, you were quick with that. Angela, okay, cool. So what we gonna do? And that was cool. I was like, I love the love. Oh,
That's awkward.
I was
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie, they all deflated. You know?
I was gonna come in here with Issa Rae balloons.
We got you some water.
Some water. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna stay positive.
Wow.
Yeah.
But good to see you. How are you?
Great to see you.
How are you?
Still good to see you.
When they let you know how they really feel about you. Well, welcome. We got this.
We have a great vending machine.
Right? Like that episode when the white law firm gave Molly the gold star.
Oh,
Yes.
She wanted the race. That's what happened. They were like, you got the positivity.
No, man.
So how you been
Yvonne.
doing?
At least you got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
last
Hey,
time we seen-
never let me come back here again. I never want to do the show ever.
So last time we seen you was actually on Zoom.
Yes.
Bamboozled
was-
by Jesus.
How was your pandemic? What did you do during the pandemic? How difficult was it for you?
Man, I worked. Issa and I, we called each other actually like around June of 2020, and we're like, yo, who are all these people who are bored and don't have anything to do? Because now people know where we are. You know, like you can have like that cloak of like invisibility. Like when you're like, oh, I'm busy, I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Everybody was home, so it's like, no, we know you're home.
We know you at the house.
So
Yeah.
can you do this other thing? And me, Issa, like, we got like 8 other things that we're doing. Like, I don't like that people can find us. No, bueno. So we worked. Oh, y'all found something?
By the way, they gave you a warm ass bottle of Ace of Spades. Oh,
Y'all
Lord,
taking
have
y'all
mercy.
taking the hell out of you, fam. Like, look at this.
Lord,
Wait, we supposed to drink it together.
I'm
I'm
taking it. No, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. This is.
Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna send it to my dad in Nigeria. Daddy, happy birthday.
Do you re-gift a lot? You a re-gifter?
Yeah, heck yeah.
So are we.
Somebody get this to y'all. Like, we got too many bottles.
Make sure
I
don't
got.
have nobody name on it. It might say
I'm
Oh,
opening
my
like,
God.
thank you, Angela, for everything you've done for us. I'm like, dang it, they got me. No, it was busy. I think by the time December of 2020 came around is when it was just like, I think like a plan of mine got canceled, and it was the first time that I was like, man, this pandemic sucks. And my friend was like, so you mean you just now feeling what everybody else is feeling since March?
Wow.
Like, don't say that in public. And I was just like, yo, you're right. And I was like, yo, I'm mad grateful that like I wasn't able to feel the brunt of it in terms of like how everyone else did, because we were just on autopilot. I was writing a book, I was premiering the special. We were doing Insecure season 4 promo. It was a lot just rolling.
Yeah, you did have a lot.
And I didn't have time to stop. And then I realized, I was like, no, I need to sit down because the world's going to open back up again. I'm going to be real upset that I didn't sit down.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing.
I remember you saying last time we spoke to you, you wrote the book yourself, and you were like, damn it, why did I do that to myself?
I told you not to do that. I told you to get somebody.
I understand why and how people have other people write their book. I just wanted, for me, I I wanted that like to prove myself like a rapper. It's like, I write my own rhymes. But after a while, I was like, no, it's okay. You can get a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Give her help.
I mean, I write, but you get somebody else to like just flesh it out, do the research and all that other stuff.
But I'm actually glad that I wrote it, because in the process of writing it, like I became myself.
Right.
You know, and I had to go through the journey of like not trying to be perfect or say the right thing. It was like, no, you're going to be vulnerable, and you're going to really tap into like who you are and what your voice is.
It's relatable, because you talk about your first hour-long headliner set that you did, which I thought was a great story, because a lot of times we do doubt ourselves. You know, when you agree to do something and you like don't feel like you're ready for it, and then you're hoping that it's going to get canceled.
Yo, I think the biggest lesson I learned from that was that my agent gave me the freedom to fail. And as an immigrant, that's not a thing that we give ourselves. It's like, like literally, she was just like, well, let's just see. I was like, no, Heidi, we not about to let's just see, because it's in Atlanta. If it don't work out, I'm going to be the one on stage getting booed. But she was just like, well, it'll let us know where you are. Like,
boy.
we can figure out, like, if you need another 30 minutes or, like, if you just need a full hour. Like, let's just see. And that's so hard when you're a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. But when you're a perfectionist or when you're a Nigerian, we literally say, like, Naja no de carry last. Like, we can't finish second. So the idea of let's just see, and if it fails, it's fine. We can regroup. No, failure is like literally never an option.
Wow.
And in that moment, she was giving me the luxury of failing. And I didn't fail, but it's like when you surrender to the possibility of like, all right, fam, let's just go have fun and we'll see where we are. That was a pivotal moment that changed. And then I got my hour.
What is something that Yvonne Orji is hard on herself about? Because you always seem like so positive and go with the flow type.
Well, ease and flow is my new word for, like, I pick a word in the beginning of the year. Those are my words for 2021.
Okay.
Because I was really, I said this year I'm becoming less Nigerian. Don't worry, I love y'all, but I had to undo the gangsterness that comes from hustle and grind. Because I know that, like, that's been my security blanket, and it's worked. Like, I've got successful hustling, grinding, and God was like, "Can I show you another way? Just can you like sit back and receive?" And I was like, yeah, I want it. It sounded good. And I'll never forget after we wrapped season 5 of Insecure, like I found myself just like with not a lot to do for the first time in a long time. And I remember my therapy session and I was like, yo, fam, I feel mad lazy right now. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel lazy. I feel like I'm like, what, who am I? She was like, are you lazy or is your body just at rest from a decade of working? I was like, well, read me then. Shoot. I was like, is your name Dr. Rhonda too? Like, what's going on? And it that also freed me to be like, yo, we put it on ourselves. Like, I've really done a great job of separating my work from my worth. And I'm like, I'm so at peace with it. That's how I be traveling. I'm just like, in this season, I don't feel compelled to like keep up. I've done what I've done and things are in the oven, and when they come out, they come out.
So you're cool with just relaxing and chilling now?
Yes, I gotta make space
You
for a
deserve
boo.
it.
I gotta make space. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't got to that point. Like, I feel like if I'm not doing something, I feel like, oh, I'm not doing nothing. I gotta work. I'm lazy. I can't stop that.
Therapy helps.
Yes, and in therapy, they'll tell you that being busy is a trauma response a lot of times. Like, you staying busy because you're running from something. You're afraid what may happen if you sit down and just be alone with yourself and your thoughts.
And like, I remember, like, even when my therapist was like, you just been working. And so I was like, I find I'll travel. And like, I packed this schedule of like, I'll go like to 5 countries. And then I was just like,
Why did I do that to myself?
That's a lot of work too.
I canceled it. I was like, no, cancel everything. I don't care. Like, just cancel it all. And then I sat with myself and I said, all right, how do you want to feel on this vacation? And
Intention.
I said, I want to go somewhere that makes me feel romantic. I was like, boom, Italy. And then I was like, I want to go somewhere on the continent, like to experience culture, Morocco. So I called my agent back and I was like, all right, I'm going to Italy and Morocco. Let's figure that out. Like, everything else was just to like go somewhere and run. But I had no intention. Like, I want to feel romantic. I want to just love life and me. And it was helpful. It was great. Like, I love this me that I am right now.
Or,
So you said you have to make space for a boo.
I do.
How does one do that?
By being the best you. Like, all the things that I'm doing right now, I'm like, yo, I'm giving you the blueprint. You can't come into my life and be like, well, we didn't know you like to travel. Exhibit A. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? In your book, you also talk about, because you talk about a Chris Rock joke that he had about Janet Jackson and Jermaine Dupri, right? So when it comes to you looking for a guy and standards, what would you say you're looking for?
You have to be currently walking in your purpose. I can't do those science fair projects. I appreciate everybody that's on the come up and doing it. I'm just not there right now in my life to support that. And you know what? And there are going to be some people that like, you missed out on. I did. 'Cause in this point in my life, I need a fully formed human being who is currently working on themselves, knows who they are, confident in who they are, and like fulfilling purpose.
you need a partner, not a project. Every single homegirl I got says that. I need a partner, not a project.
But the thing, I think the thing about it is like, okay, so you get married, you're going to be working. Like any relationship is work. We've all been in them. But it depends on the kind of work. Like, so people look at comedy and like, yo, that's hard work. No, I look at brain surgery and I'm like, that's hard work.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and a brain surgeon is like, this is easy. You got to be in front of people in the mind. So everybody's work is different. And so for me, I'm like, I want to start here and work here. I don't want to start here. And that's
So what happened with your ex? Because you had a
Don't do that.
Jeez.
Don't do
Wait.
that. Don't do that.
You had the boo, and then all of a sudden, I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, I needed it out.
How you turn to Molly season 4 just now? You got mad. That was evil, Molly, just now. Don't do that.
What
Don't
is it?
do that.
Positivity water? You know what? I'm gonna stay positive on this one.
I did read where you said you did get upset with Issa for the first time. Was that real? Or you just,
Yes, I didn't get upset. We had beef. We had
Okay.
beef for the first time in the storyline this season.
What was it? Why?
How you gonna tell y'all?
Oh, okay.
It hasn't happened yet.
Got you,
All right, I
got you.
hope you redeem yourself, because you know.
Well, did you watch episode 1?
Yes. Okay, y'all are back to
My God,
Okay.
Angela,
I just want to make sure it's consistent and it's not just a quick comeback, because you know a fractured friendship does it come back stronger like your bones when they break, or is it more fragile?
even after you finished season 4, you still thought Molly was a trash friend?
She had trash moments. You're
She
right.
did have
She
trash.
just had some trash
Thank
moments.
you.
That's all.
We
all
can't
do.
throw the baby out with the bath.
That's right.
Okay.
So you got to take the whole. Issa and I actually sat at the theater because we had before premiere week we had people come into the theater to watch seasons 1 through 4, and we watched. It was me, the young lady who Molly is based off of, Issa's best friend, and Issa together, and so we were keeping a tally. We were like, strike 2 for Issa, strike 10, and then it was like strike 5 for Molly. Like it was like she had a super strike, and I was like, okay, I definitely could see it, but it went both ways.
I just found out about the fact that Molly is based off Issa's real best friend. So did you ever consult with her through any of these seasons?
I didn't consult with her, but I did meet her. And the first time we met, Issa was like, "This is, who Molly's based off," and so we had to and it was like we had the same mannerisms in one moment, and then we started dancing. It was like, I am you and she is me, and then we just became friends over the seasons, and she's great. She's the life of the party for sure.
Are y'all gonna piss people off every week? Is there gonna be something on Insecure that's gonna make people
Absolutely.
fake outrage?
We wouldn't be insecure, but see, we're not purposely trying to piss people off. Y'all just get pissed off because it's such a real life.
But what did you think about the AKA controversy?
It wasn't a controversy.
Uh-oh.
It really wasn't. I'm
It
glad you
wasn't.
said that.
It
It's just
wasn't.
They
noise.
were upset.
Okay. I'm not an AKA. I can't speak to it. But it was established that both Molly and Tiffany were AKAs in season 1 because we had that party at the house. So I don't know where the controversy came from. And I can't speak. I didn't pledge nobody's. I put me for G. That's me for G. Okay, that's
don't you do that.
that's the me for G. Well, let me get my membership. Okay, what the letters at? So I can understand. Obviously I have trademarks and whatnot, but I think what we have done in the show is to represent a lot of Black institutions and Black themes, especially in South LA, et cetera, in a positive light. And we tried our best to do that. That's all I can say about that.
Did they get clearance or not? Or you don't know?
That's about my pay grade.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
drink positivity
She's like, I'm
water
here.
and show and too much clearance. That is not that's a legal question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I love in your book, chapter 4, you say, don't allow yourself to disqualify what you bring to the table just because someone else sat down before you.
Yeah.
Explain that.
No, it's real because it's easy to be like, this person's popping this way. Man, my stuff is trash. And it's like, no. That's what they brought. We've all been to Thanksgiving, and it's like, yo, I brought the mac and cheese. Like, oh, that's fantastic. And then 20 minutes later, somebody brings the sweet potatoes, and you're like, well, nigga, let me get some of this. So it's just like, it's like what you have is what you have, and people don't even know they have an appetite for what you have to offer until you bring it to the table.
Right.
So you can't really disqualify yourself. Like I talk about going to the grocery store and you just go down the water aisle. It's like somebody didn't stop because it was like, we got alkaline water. We got,
Positivity.
you add into the grocery store.
There you go.
It's like they had spring water, mountain water, alkaline water. Then let's just go to sparkling water. Perrier was knocking it out of the ballpark. Then La Croix was like, we got you. So it's like everybody is building upon something, and you can't just be like, oh, well, these people have been doing it for a really long time. Look, Uber was battling taxis.
That's right.
Taxis have been taxis since the invention of
That's right.
taxis.
And then Lyft came along.
Then Lyft came. It looks like we got this too. So it's just like you can't really be like, man, they beat me to my idea. What's your spin on it?
Is there anything that you wrote in the book and was like, I might have to take this out, or I gotta call somebody beforehand to explain what this means because they're gonna get upset?
No, I didn't. I was like, you're just gonna read it. For me, I was like, you're part of my history, and this is from my point of view. I'm never going to do something knowingly to like be cantankerous, but I am going to be honest, and I am going to be vulnerable. And growing up immigrants, that's not a thing. Never let them see your dirty laundry. It's like, well, we haven't washed in a while. Like it's gonna smell eventually, right? But I wasn't setting out to write like a expose or anything like that. It's just like, yo, this is where I was, or this is what happened, and this were the circumstances around it. I'm just being honest. And if people take a problem to that, it's like, well, then you should have been different in the history that you had.
So you didn't have to call mom and dad and be like, look, just so y'all know, nothing.
No, because I also wasn't like. I wasn't trashing them. I was being honest. Like, and most people who have immigrant parents are like, yeah, my mom did that too. You know what I mean? Like, it's if anything, it's like I was being honest about an experience, and I think that honesty and that vulnerability actually attracted other people to that moment because they've experienced it themselves.
It's fascinating to me that you have to unlearn culture, I guess, in a way.
I am, and like it's interesting because it's been my safety net. Like being Nigerian helped me get successful. So then the idea of like being less of it is like, well, and it's not that I don't like it. It's just like, yo, there are things that are just passed down culturally and no one checks them. No one challenges them. It's just like, yes, that's good. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, I'm working, but am I happy?
Yeah. And it's almost like a pressure to be perfect. That's just, you can't get there.
You can't.
Yeah, there's always moments.
And it's like those moments reveal who you are. Like now, like when something pops off, I'm like, all right, well, how could I have done that differently?
All right, well, let's talk about that.
Let's
look at that positivity water. I want to address something, that happened recently, and I want to get your take on it. Because from when I first met you, I always thought, like, you have a great spirit, great energy. And on Twitter recently, somebody was talking about that interaction where she felt like you played her a little bit. Like so I want you to tell your side of that story.
What happened? Oh, I missed this one.
She was in the audience of something, you were speaking on a panel, and she asked to take a picture. And you said not right now or something like that. And then you got up and kind of called her out. Like she should have been more persistent.
Yeah. So it's a lot of things, right? And in that moment, so that was like 3 years ago. That tape was from like 3 years ago. And in that moment, I can totally, when I found out about it, I was like, I could totally see how she perceives it the way she did. And I'm like, I eat that and I own that. Like, oh, that's my bad because that's never my intention. It was one of those situations I was about to speak at like Forbes, and I'm a comedian. This is now like a keynote.
Right.
And it's Forbes. And I was like, I'm nervous as heck because I'm like, this is not out of my element, but it's a new element. And it's like, I got the mic in my hand, and right before I go on stage, it's like, can I get a picture? And it's like, I need to remember my first lines.
Right.
So in that moment, it was like, no. And so if you watch, the whole speech is available on YouTube because that was like a 15-second clip. So the context of that is I was about to go into my first talking point, which is I never accept no for an answer. And in that moment, as a comic, I remember I'm like, but I just told this chick no. So like, how do I clean this up? Like, because I know now somebody in the audience is feeling like, well, you just told me, you know what I mean? So then, like, trying to be, what do you call it? Like, just improv. It was like, I know I just told you no. Okay, well, you just got to, so I'm trying to clean it up. And I'm like, yo, I can accept when the joke went bad.
Right.
And also, we're not at the comedy club. So the context of it is, like, very different. I've done something
and it was
similar.
improv on the spot,
It was improv on the spot. So I'm trying to connect it just so I can move on. And you're just like, it's not landing. Let me just, And I can fully understand how, in her mind, she's like, what the hell? Like, why would you? I'm not thinking that because I'm really just like, I got 10 minutes to do a keynote, trying to clean this up, make sure she's good. But like, and so when I saw the tape, I was like, oh, dang, never my intention, but I completely understand. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, I would have, here's the crazy thing. Right after I got off the stage, because we were in Boston, I had to take a flight for the season 3 finale.
So you never took a picture?
So normally the me that I am would have been like, hey sis, where you at? Hey, let's get this picture. But I literally got off the stage and went on the flight. So when I saw it popping off, I was just like, oh snap. And then when the crazy thing about it is when I apologized, even though people think it wasn't an apology, well, hey, this is me apologizing right now, so I apologize. The first comment is like, it's too late to apologize. I just found out there was a thing to apologize. apologize for?
Right.
You know what I mean? And in that moment, I muted it because I said, I pay too much in therapy. And when everything popped off, I checked myself and said, all right, well, this probably wasn't your best moment, but it doesn't track with the you that you are. Like, this is a moment. This is not definitive of who you are.
Absolutely.
And so I was like, all right, you ate it, you own it, you take responsibility, but you still are like, the person. Like, I didn't have to double down and be like, well, now I have to be a nice person, and now I have to.
You know who you are.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
And so I remember texting my therapist, and I said, hey, I just want to thank you so much. Our sessions are working. Because pre-pandemic, Yvonne would have been like, oh my God, like, what do I do? And in that moment when I sent the tweet, people were like, well, did you have like a publicist look at it? And I was like, no, because I'm human. I did not have it. Because in that moment, I want to connect to another human being who just told me they were hurt by my actions. So I'm not waiting to like, hey, do you approve of this apology? I'm like, no, I'm human. So I'm going to be like, yo, sis, my bad. I eat that.
There's another conversation to be had, though, because I think that the no you're talking about in regard to like pursuing your dreams, chasing your goals is different than the no to respect my boundaries. Because in that moment, you had to do a keynote speech.
Yeah.
So you was like, no, not right now, because you're focused, you're locked in. I don't think that's disrespectful, no. You just setting a boundary.
I think the woman was upset because she called her out and pointed her out as part of that, but it was an improv type of thing. And I think as a comedian, when you're trying things out, it doesn't always land.
Yeah. Definitely, but I still want to talk about the fact that, because I don't know if you ever seen that piece that Debbie Brown did about setting boundaries and about how sometimes no has nothing to do with the other person. Don't take my no personal. My no is for me.
I'd be having to explain it. I got a facial the other day and I was leaving and this guy was like, can I take a picture? And mind you, my face is all red. I was like, I'm going to be honest. I just had a facial right now, so I don't think it's the best time for me to be taking a picture. And I was like, man, after he walked away, I was like, I hope he doesn't hate me.
People get upset because they're fans, right? And they never see you. So all of a sudden, here's this person I hear on the radio. Here's this person I see on television. Let me just take this picture, please. I want to show the family. When you say no, they get hurt and crushed. They take it personal.
Well, see, I read something that says if you ask a question and you don't anticipate no as an option, was it a question or a demand?
That's right.
And so, you know what I mean? Like, was it a question or a demand?
Right.
And I think we need to, like, really understand it because it's like, you take it so personally, but you ask the question, so I have a choice. And I'm hoping that, and I think one thing that the reason why I muted, like, all of the things is because at some point I realized, I'm like, oh, people don't want, like, they don't want an apology. They don't want atonement. They want blood.
Correct.
And I'm like, I don't operate in that zeitgeist because then it's like, well, what's the statute of limitation then? You know, like, am I apologizing forever? Have we never done anything in our lives? Because if you have never done anything in your life, then I need to stop praying to the person I'm praying to. Like, I need, what's your name? I'm gonna put your name in my Bible because I found a new idol. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have something, but it's just this thing of like, you're supposed to be perfect because you're on TV. It's like,
nigga, please.
I'm like, well, in what world? In what world? But it's like, but that doesn't mean that you're absolved of responsibility when you do mess up. It's like you got to own that. But
can you find the funny in anything you think?
I find the funny in a lot of things.
Almost anything.
Yeah, and almost there's some things that are like, no, we're not gonna touch that one. We're not gonna touch that one. But like often, I'll never forget. This is what I knew. I'm like, oh, God has a sense of humor. I'll never forget. I was a college student, and I was like new in Christianity. And I was walking to the train station at GW, and this dude rolled up on me, like it was not a great car. And it was
not a great car.
It was not a great car. But you know when you got the internships, and I had like my grandmama's pearls on. I was trying to be somebody, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing, shorty?" And I said, and I was like, "Who does he think he is?" And he hollered at me, and loud as day, Holy Spirit said, "But he in the car, and you walking to the bus stop." I was like, whose side are you on? Like, but it was a very humbling experience. And I had to I laughed out loud, like, you right, but still, like, Daddy, come on, son. Like, have some respect.
Did you speak with the young man?
I did not. I don't remember him.
So you might have missed your blessing.
I did not.
That might have been God talking to you. Give it a second chance. God might have been like, he got a car. Just give him just say hi back.
Whoever you are, I hope things are working out well in your life. This was not my ministry, and you are not my testimony. But God bless.
Now, I love that you call your book a Get Yours book and not a self-help book.
For sure.
Why did you do that?
Cause man, like we all buy them self-help books, like thinking we gonna read them, or like
once you read a few of them, you read them all.
Once you read a few, or like you get through the first 2 pages, like okay, good, I'm great, I've been helped. No, you haven't, and they just become coffee table books, and I'm like, no, this was like a blueprint. It's not saying like you do everything you're gonna be Yvonne Orji. It is basically like if you apply it. Because it's principles. Principles work for anybody that works them, whether or not you believe in God or not. And I was just like, yo, I've gotten mine. And I love when people succeed. Like, I'm happy for people. And so I'm like, yo, it ain't no funny. The homies can't get none.
Right.
Or to Nate Dogg, but not in the...
Absolutely. In the 2021
the version
healed version of that song. Yes.
What I'm speaking about is something very different than what he talked about.
Yes.
But the sentiments are there.
Yes.
You know, like like you don't want to. If you want to be the only popping one in your crew, something is wrong.
I agree.
Like
It's fun when the whole crew is popping.
When you go to dinner, it's like we ordered everything. Yo, split it into 4 ways.
That's right.
Or like
or
no,
one person gets it this time, next time, right?
Yo,
oh, let's get it. What you want a bottle of? I love that when we out with our friends and we all got it. Somebody plans a trip. Oh, you know what? We're gonna take a. I got this. I love that.
I said this is the last vacation I'm paying for. It is. Somebody is fine because Amex is coming to me like, what up, sis? I'm like, nah, somebody else is swiping their card.
You pay for stuff when you with Issa?
Yeah, Issa and I go back and forth.
I would never pay for nothing when I was with Issa. If I was with Issa, I would never pay for nothing.
Because you're the gentleman.
Why not?
Well, you're the gentleman. You should pay. What are you talking
I
about?
have a rule that if you're richer than me, you should have to pick up the tab. Now, I'll act like I'm going to pay. You know what I mean? But I don't want to insult you.
So you do the fake reach? You do the fake reach?
Absolutely.
I don't like when I'm with people.
You're just a jerk.
I don't like when I'm with people and they expect you to pay all the time.
I don't like expectations, period.
Right.
Like,
and then they never even pretend to pay. And then they don't even be saying thank you.
No.
Like, they just used to it.
So what I do, this happened recently, so we all went out and the check came. So I just waited. I'm like, let's see what everybody's doing. Because I got my points. Let's see what everybody's doing. So one person was like fumbling for cards. Like I was like, how many you got? Like it was just like one of them is going to go through. And then I was once the first card went, then I was like, well, bet let's do that.
Problem.
Because what's not going to happen?
Right.
Because I'm not an ATM. But I'm generous. So a lot of times. Like the last time I went out, and I do this often, before we even sit down, I just give my credit card to the waiter and just be like, yo, fam, just whatever it is.
Yeah, you go to the bathroom, you'd be like,
why would you do that? What if the person start drinking Ace of Spades and ordering big Angus steaks?
She got it.
Wagyu.
I mean,
she got it.
If I'm doing that, I want to treat you.
Got you.
I'm doing this because I find value in our relationship, and I want to show you my appreciation. But I don't tell them I did it. So my thing is, whatever you're ordering because you believe that you got it.
That's
right.
Like I'm not like it's on me.
Right,
I hate when somebody else paying. I'm like, man, I should have ordered a couple more drinks.
When I was poor, I was like, why didn't you tell me?
Going on dates for food.
Yo, I'm an over-orderer, so I always pay the bill when I go out with somebody because I order so much.
And you should. I feel
bad because like you might order something small, but I ordered 10 things and I'm like, all right, I'll just
No, you should. Like that is, I think that's unwritten rules because I did that. Me and my girl Esther, what up, E? We went to the movies and she ordered like a burger and I was like Brussels sprouts, you know, to a tuna roll. Like I was because I was hungry. And the bill came. I didn't even show it to her. I was like, this is on me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I ordered
with a
18
burger.
more items than you. Like I feel like that's you gotta understand.
Well,
Like your friendships, but anybody that puts an expectation on you, you're like, are we friends or am I your flunky? Like what's going on?
yeah.
Now you're also hosting Yearly Departed, right? So talk to me about that because that's all women
Phenomenal.
comedians. I feel like there's like a great time right now for women in comedy. What do you think?
I think so too. That project was really special because I literally had just come from Insecure. That's like black of the black of the black of the black. You know, it's just like lots of brown and brown stories, brown characters to jump now into like, oh, all women. It's like I love when representation is really represented. So it was like female producers, a female director, and then female comedic actors. So everybody wasn't a comedian, but they were like comedy in the comedy zeitgeist space. And it was beautiful because everybody just brought their specialty and people that I had never met or interacted with, and seeing just how like people were gracious. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it comes out like middle of December. It's gonna be good. I host it. I have 2 like monologues, and I think they were happy.
Ain't it nice when you the host?
I like it though.
Yeah.
I just did some. I just hosted Ellen. I co-hosted Ellen, guest hosted Ellen. So that's gonna come out.
You
Yes.
think you would want to do that, like daytime every day?
You could do that. You have time for that?
I mean, I enjoyed it in the sense I don't necessarily. How do I say this? If I were to do it, I would want it to be like the big joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would want it. I would want it to be the big joint.
Is that on your vision board?
Like my team knew. My team knew before the opportunity. So like when I actually went to do my book tour with her, she was just like, "I heard you wanted to host your own show. Like, yeah, come guest host." And I was like, "What?" And then her team followed up, and I actually got a chance to do it. And seeing how the machine runs, I was like, "Well, this is not a bad situation."
Felt like a fit.
It felt like I understood it because I like that's the thing that I was doing before Insecure. Like people don't know, like I was hosting weddings, I was hosting birthdays, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and so I sat back in and I was like, yo, all those years of preparation are really coming in right now, and it's so weird how like God can bring full circle moments.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen in the future. I think it's gonna be a period of time on TV where like every other daytime host is a black woman.
Because we got Tamron right now.
Tamron. I can see Tiffany Haddish doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see you doing it. I can see somebody like Zuri Hall doing it. Like I just see that just because of the skill set that y'all
Gia Peppers
possess.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Hell yeah.
Hey, Gia.
Hey, Gia.
Yeah. Now, was there any part of you that really related to Molly last season, and was that tough on you psychologically because you've been the fan favorite for so long?
Yeah, Friendship Breakers were rough, and I was saying, like, season 1, I felt like I didn't understand Molly. I was like, who's this chick? Like, I didn't have a lot of Mollys in my life. And so I was, like, learning her. And then season 2 was kind of like, oh, she was teaching me some stuff. And then, at some point I was teaching her. We were all kind of, like, either ahead of each other. And so now we're kind of parallel a little bit. And it's interesting because going through not being on set with Issa, I was shook. I was like, yo, Issa, who wrote this season? Like, we now we're on set together. Like, when I see you, we fighting. Like, this don't sit right with my spirit, but I understood.
But I am acting.
I understood the storyline, but I was like, yo, this is trash. But I learned in that season because it's like, yo, you go as an adult going through a friendship breakup. It's wild. It's rough, and there's so many nuances. And it's just like when you can't force people to communicate. And so if like one person wants to work it out, like when we watched it again, I was like, all Issa had to do was come over after Thanksgiving.
Right.
We should have just had pie. We should have talked about it. We already had like a little flare up at the grocery store.
I did feel bad for you in that episode. You was looking all sad.
I was like, and then of course you get the passage. All right, girl, do you? Like, all right. Once you get that, once you send that text off from that sphere of mind, you already know it's just like, ooh, that's something. You got to catch it right there. Like, hold on, what was that?
Did she hit you with a K?
She didn't respond.
Whoa.
In the show.
Oh, in the show. Okay,
yes.
got you.
You talking about
in real life. Yeah. I was like, what?
This is how you say Issa is worth $500 million.
She not?
You know what?
This guy's a bird.
She's not?
It's so silly.
Damn.
So Issa also said you're doing a spinoff. So when does that start?
Issa, call me. Just call me right now. Just call me because they spreading rumors on the Breakfast Club.
Did you think that this would have an impact on y'all real relationship though? I mean, the fact because of the storyline and y'all wasn't spending that much time on set, did it ever like, damn, this might impact our real friendship?
No, because it was all love. I feel like the season finale is when I was like, I gotta let you go. Like, it's like, you're my friend, but like, I'm really like, you're released into the world now. Like you're a different Issa than when we started, and like we're not gonna be spending 4 to 6 months together every year. And it was kind of like it wasn't a goodbye because I know what you are. But like we still text everybody every day, and she's dope. But it was like you're not mine. Like I really took ownership of what we had, and I found myself like emotional last Sunday when we premiered. Like she was just like, because we spent Thursday together, Friday together, Saturday together, and Sunday I was just like in the bathtub, just listening to Giveon.
Oh, this sounds so sad.
So damn sad.
But it was also like,
You smoked a cigarette.
journaling. And so she was like, girl, you gonna come watch the premiere with us? I was like, girl, one, I'm tired. Two, like, I'm just being my feelings. She was like, not you sitting in the bathtub crying. I was like, not you not respecting my morning face. But it was funny because when she cracked me up, I was like, this is why I love you. Because like she instantly got me out of my thing. Because for me, this is the thing that like ushered me onto the platform that I have. And I know I'm doing other things. So not even like I'm going to do other things. I'm doing other things. But it is this feeling of like when you graduate college, you still cry. Yeah. You don't want to take the exam no more.
It's better to feel like that than to be like, bye, bitches. You know, I can't wait to get out of here.
I'm sure some people on set that feel that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I mean,
I'm not one of them.
I think you and Issa, though, it's like, no pun intended, it's like a sorority. So like y'all, this was college for y'all, and y'all going out into the world. Y'all got each other forever.
It was funny because we were at one of our Amy and Niobe, executive producers' birthday party, and Issa and I, either when the season's ending or it's about to start, we have a spa day. So like we book out a whole day. We go to the spa, we go eat dinner, and we just like talk about whatever, right? And we had it on the calendar, but none of us like made plans because it was just so much going on. So we were at Amy's party. And I was like, girl, our spa day is supposed to be tomorrow. She was like, dang, we trash. I was like, I know. She's like, well, we can. I said, no, nobody's making plans Saturday night. I said, okay, when's your next time that you're available? So we looking at the calendar, and she's like, what about August? I said, no, I'm traveling. Okay, what about you? She's like, I'm in Miami. And then we looked at our calendar, and she was like, all right, well, I'm free in December. And I looked at her, I said, nigga, December? This is our new life. And it was that moment where I was like, and I said, I like this for us, but I miss you.
Friend, yeah.
I was like, I miss you. I was like, this is our new life. Like, we missed our one date in August, and now December is the next availability. I was like, yo,
is it still on the calendar?
We didn't even put it on the calendar. I was like, December's my birthday. I'm going to Bali. Like, I'm out. I was like, meet me in Thailand.
Now, Molly also was in an interracial relationship, and now that you're single, could you see that for you?
I could. Like, I want to be happy. And I think when people see interracial, they think, like, black or white. I'm like, there's so many races out there, you know?
Hello.
She's like, hello.
Black and Chinese.
Hey. Are you dating somebody?
Yes.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
We're interviewing you.
I want to know. Yeah, let's talk about that. How did y'all meet?
We met a few years ago, and we've been in a relationship ever since, and everything is very smooth and happy.
Is he black?
Yes.
Ooh.
Why is that a surprise?
No, I'm liking this because we were just talking about interracial things.
Have you ever dated somebody that wasn't black?
Don't let her flip it back on.
I'm just asking. I was like, she didn't hear the part where I said I co-hosted Ellen. You know, like I guest hosted Ellen. She didn't hear. I does this. Actually. I does this. So wait. So you met at a friend? Like, what was that like? Was it a friend's party? Like, what did you say you met?
We were introduced by mutual friends.
Okay. What is it about him that you like?
I like that, you know, he's very understanding of everything that I do, and he's always supportive. He's always on my side.
Is he in the industry or at a level of success as you are?
Yeah, I guess in a different industry.
In a different industry. Yeah. Okay.
Ask where he's from.
Why are you asking all these questions?
Yeah, where's he from?
No, I'm just interesting.
He's from America. He's from
America.
He's from America. All 50 states.
Jesus Christ.
Including Puerto Rico.
No, but honestly, like, it's been good for us because he doesn't even like for people to be like, you know, posting. Yes. He's good with that. He likes to be low key, you know. So.
When did you know you could trust him? With your heart.
I always trust people until they make me not trust them.
That's good.
Right? So I'm the type of person, until you do something fucked up to me, I'm going to be okay with you and we're going to have no issues. Now, if I start feeling weird or seeing weird things or people start telling me stuff, that's when I'm going to have some reservations. But until then, some people lead with not trust. I lead with trust.
Do you fight fair? Do you guys fight fair? You know, like when people argue and they go for the jugular, it's like, come on, nigga, why are you bringing up
You know what?
stuff?
I'm really good at, before I say, I try not to say things that I regret. So I count to 10 backwards in my head before I say anything that I feel like is going to be too mean. I'm not really a mean person, and I never want to say something because I feel like words do last forever. So I never say anything that later on, if he brought it up, it would be an issue and I would feel bad. And so I don't hit below the belt like that. I try to always address the issue that we're really having. And I don't talk about stuff right away. Like, I need a moment.
Ooh, you're good. I can't go to sleep until we talk about it.
I can. I have no problem sleeping ever. But I go to sleep right now. But what I'm saying is, like, I try not to, in the heat of a moment, when I'm really mad, say anything. I'll be like, I just need a minute. I can't even talk to you right now.
wow, you're like, that's impressive. I want to get that gene because I'm very much like, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like when I'm happy, everything is
That's right.
awesome. If something's a problem,
Let's talk about it.
what I don't like is when you know something's a problem and then you step to me like, hey, how you doing? Nigga, what?
Yeah, no, I'm not like
You're
that.
not going to talk about it? You going to act like everything was great? No.
I'll ignore you for like a couple hours, but I think when you know me well enough, you know that right when something happens is not the time to talk about it. With me, that's just how I am.
Well, Angela Yee, thank you for joining the Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
man.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for this. I'm in a happy space and I feel like it's coming soon. Mm-hmm. Like that when you're shifting seasons and you're transitioning, I feel that in my life.
I wonder if you'll be able to trust the guy though, because you a different person. You rich now. You got all of these things.
He's gonna have more
on.
money than me.
Ooh.
How you gonna know that though?
He's going to have more money than
That's right.
me.
How do you know that?
Manifested.
He's going to have more.
Before
You trying to shit on your dreams? You see them?
Now, what if
Are y'all my Nigerian parents?
You said you just don't want a project, so he's not a project, but doesn't have as much money as you.
Y'all Nigerian
He's
parents.
going to have. Let me speak English.
What if on social media it appears that he has a lot of money, but he did a bunch
man.
of PPP scams?
I'm not dealing with
He's
social
not a
media.
project, but he just doesn't have as much money as you.
Do you got money?
He treats you well.
Yes.
Broke. I'm dead broke.
Well,
But he treats you well. And
He would not be an option.
Will
to
your
what do you
parents
do?
be disappointed if you're not with a Nigerian man?
I want to be happy.
No, I'm just asking because I know for
I think that will be. I mean, like I'm my dad's only daughter, and so my dad wants to have the whole traditional wedding, got the dowry, and I'm like, I
So
know
if you brought a Caucasian guy home to your dad.
there are so many different types of men in this world. There's so many. There's a gamut of them. But I think after they understand, because I already did that. I tried to give them the thing that they wanted, and it didn't work out. And I was like, are we good now? Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Got you.
And so I'm happy.
how much do looks matter?
They matter a lot. Like looks, physique.
Yo, earlier you said it was nothing. You just wanted a man that wasn't a project. Now it's
Well, y'all didn't have no follow-up questions. You came with the follow-ups. No,
So
I
what do you
mean,
want? Go ahead.
listen, I ain't wait all this time for Rumpelstiltskin, my nigga. Like, you know what I
So
mean?
you need this. You need a big space. This space got to be right. This space you carving out for this man.
What you mean in terms of like
Like
my
you
heart?
said, you carving out a space for this man. So,
Oh yeah, I'm. When I'm reading this book, it's called Get Into What I Do. But what's the book I'm reading there? It's really good too. Fuddruckers. I can't remember the title, but the book is it's a 7-week, 40-day joint, and I'm drawing an absolute blank, and I'm so mad at myself. But it asks you questions every day, and it's like you go through it, and I realized like in the past I was just like, I just thought,
Right.
I want a guy, yeah, but it's like no, you're saying you want a guy, but like you're not doing I want a guy thing, and it's just like changing my life up, and not like I'm rearranging my life for a guy, but like when you say you want partnership, what does that mean for you? What does like define love? Like what does happiness look like? Because is it happy just like we here? It's like no. I want somebody who's adventurous. I want somebody. It's really, really refining, like what you say you want, and then also. Y'all all know when it's time to go to work, y'all put in work. Y'all are like, yo, you got a coffee shop opening, you got a new show, you have all of the things. When it comes to dating, people just be like, I just want to be found. It's like
You got to work at that too.
Yeah,
I always say it's like trying to find a job. Like you go out, you let people know you're looking, you have a resume that you're,
Yes.
making sure you're going on interviews and trying to find if you're serious about it is like a job.
It is, and the same way that you're not just gonna take any job, Envy. You know what I mean? You got to be like, hey, I appreciate that you want me to, work for you. I do not desire to work in this establishment, or these are the necessary packages that I would like. And you have a decision. Everybody has a decision.
What size package?
I was talking about as a whole, like the whole package.
all I'm learning from this conversation, Yvonne, is your dreams are your dreams, and you shouldn't share them with other people because you got dream killers out here. You know what I mean?
No, I'm a sheriff.
God.
I'm a sheriff because no matter what the attacks go, when the dream manifests, I'm like, remember when you told me,
That's right.
Envy, that I couldn't have what I wanted? I believe
that
I
guy
could.
that was driving past you at the bus stop right there.
That's all you heard from this conversation. I'm so disappointed in you and your hoodie. I'm so disappointed.
right.
I'm disappointed in you and your hoodie.
Well, Yvonne Orji, you just snorted.
I just snort. Yes.
Man.
Calling in the One. That's the name of the book. It's called Calling in the One.
Okay.
Have you read
that
it?
snort helped you remember.
I was like, damn.
That's your superpower.
Yo, I snort all the time. So, hey, dear future husband, I hope you like my sense of humor and my snorts.
He should want to make you snort.
Yeah.
He should be making you laugh like that to where you snort.
I love a man that can, but like not trying to be in competition with me. Don't try and like out funny me. Like, just do you?
So not another comedian.
That'd be tough.
Yo, yeah. Unless you're like a comedian that's not battling. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Are you writing down my list?
No bad cars. No comedians.
I didn't say no comedian. I don't know. I haven't met him yet.
Okay.
Whoever he is, I haven't met him yet.
Comedians.
And I think it's hard to like put it in a bubble because I think once you align with your purpose partner, you're just like, oh snap. Okay, I had a vision, but like, yo, you superseded it, or like
Yeah.
So I can't really be like, no, not you, not you. It's the whole thing. Like when you meet somebody, the whole aura of who they are becomes the thing that you're like, yo, I rocks with you.
Well, let me ask this one question. What flaws would you accept in a man? Because all I hear is a description of Jesus.
No, it's not. You do not. No. There's no perfect person.
That's right.
What flaws? I think regardless of the flaw, it's the self-awareness to know like this is a flaw and this is something that I'm actively working at. So I can't really say this is the flaw.
Right.
But it's like because we all have flaws and sometimes you don't even know what they are until you are in relationship. And so for me, it's just like, yo, recognizing when it does come up, it's like, you know what? I got to be patient a little bit more. Dang, that's my bad. Like, okay, let me work on that. As opposed to be like, well, that's just me. That's just me, nigga. Can't work for me. Like,
That's just how I am.
yeah, that's just how I am.
Really me. Or a guy who is always a work in progress, because they always say that for every excuse for everything.
Yo, you
And
know,
while-
God's still working on me. Well, nigga, what has he done? Nigga, this is a long mechanic shop. Okay, this auto body, yo, someone get some new insurance.
Oh, she snorted again. I love it.
My goodness. Well, Yvonne Orji, thank
I
you
can't
for
wait
joining
till
us
part
this
2 because
morning.
there's some questions I didn't ask yet, but I'm gonna wait till the next one.
What's the question?
Wait.
Okay.
They're evergreen.
Bamboozled by Jesus is out right now.
Yes, and Insecure every Sunday till the day after Christmas, 10 o'clock on HBO and HBO Max.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for joining us. It's The Breakfast Club, Yvonne Orji.